Many of our children are struggling with their mental health. In the next hour, we're bringing you a special presentation about the critical need to support our youth with issues like depression and anxiety. Here at KCAL, we are committed to this important topic in our newscasts and on our website, kcalnews.com. We're bringing you news stories about solutions. Now, we'll introduce you to the Avilas. They lost their daughter to suicide, but from their tragedy came their passion to create change.
My whole world just came crumbling down, not understanding, why.
The pain is still raw for the Avila family, who lost their 13-year-old daughter, Rosalie, 6 years ago to suicide. They say their Rosie faced relentless and cruel bullying for months. Her classmates are accused of circulating a video where they called her ugly and compared her to other girls in school.
After that, she changed. She had other stuff going on, but I think that just kind of crushed her because it went viral.
Her sister Charlene agrees, saying Rosie, who was a great student, loved to read and dreamed of being a lawyer, became reclusive, a shell of who she'd once been.
We were close, but when she started, when she hit depression and everything, she just started to drift away, didn't want to talk to me no more, just shut everyone out.
That wasn't the only indication something was seriously wrong. Without warning, Rosie cut her hair. Then her parents discovered she had began cutting herself. Concerned, the Avilas continued reaching out to school officials, but say they felt ignored, so they sought help elsewhere.
Rosalie was supposed to go to this Christian counseling that was on a huge waiting list, So we tried to get her some other counseling that didn't seem to work out.
The Avilas were desperate and began to look into homeschooling, but that's when things seemed to be getting better.
She hid a lot of her pain with her smile. She just didn't, like I said, I really felt like we were doing better with all that, until that day.
That day was November 28th, 2017. When Rosie returned to school after Thanksgiving break and faced her bully one last time.
And I asked her, how she was mentally, and she said she was fine. She had a big smile on her face. She made me feel like she was fine. I think that dark place that she was at, just made her think that was her only option.
It's a day her father will never forget.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I love you. And it says, sorry, Mom, you're going to find me like this.
It was just the worst day of my life. I just can't even, my wife doesn't like to think back.
The Avilas credit the love and support they've received for their survival and have chosen to focus their energy on making change.
She was just like the type of girl that could have made the world a better place. Even though she's not here, I know that we feel like we're trying to make the world a better place through her, by advocating against bullying.
The Avilas proposed nationwide legislation, Rosie's Law, that would require schools to establish and implement suicide detection and prevention programs on campus, as well as harsher punishment for bullies. But they say that lost momentum when the pandemic struck.
They're there 40 hours a week. They're living at the school. Well, we're out there trying to make ends meet. The kids need to be safe, and they're just not.
They continue their commitment to end bullying by speaking at schools throughout Southern California.
I would say to any parent, start making a paper trail. Identify the times you talk to the principal, the times you talk to superintendents. If there's any threats of violence, immediately call the police.
And while their fight continues, the real battle lies in surviving the loss of their daughter day to day.
She's really missed by our family. We can't even express that, how many tears we've shed from her not being there.
Connecting the Dots is a truly unique documentary. It features the voices of young people from around the world, candidly talking about their struggles with mental health. If you or someone you know is in crisis, get help from the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988.
I can't look in the camera. Because I don't know what to do. I just I'm so nervous. I don't know why.
It's not okay that I can't deal with just people talking.
I've got this pit in my stomach, can't think straight.
This feeling of being worthless is just sort of intensifying every day.
Today was a good day. I had a very good day.
I really need help, and I just don't know where else to turn. Because I just lie here and my head just spins.
Do people know what mental health is? Do people know what mental illness is?
Most people don't talk about what young people are going through.
I remember when I was in 6th grade and I was bullied every single day.
I have been having slight panic, clenching chest, extra sweats, shaking.
I used to self-harm and now I don't.
The mental health situation in our community especially is pathetic.
I didn't want to be labelled the problem child, the mentally ill child.
I know a lot of people out there are even afraid to admit that they need help.
I think we need to start hearing from young people like myself when making policies related to somebody's mental health.
4 successful years of recovery, of course with the relapse, but I'm still here 4 years later.
So yeah, it's a little update on how things are going.
We care so much about the opinions of the people around us. We want to walk and talk and look a certain type of way and fit in with certain groups and crowds and cliques of people. I know what it's like for us to try to figure out who we are and what we want to achieve and what we want to become. Young people trying to figure out which way's up, which way's down. And how do we figure out, how do we get to the next step, to the next chapter? My story, it's your story, it's our story, it's the story. All of us have these moments that I call moments of impact. Moments in our lives where we can remember every detail. It was good or it was bad. Because something has happened in all of our lives, probably still to this very moment, to this very day, that you can identify as an individual moment of impact in your life. And these moments of impact, they also can come from hardships and tragedies. I can't control how you treat me. I can't control what you say to me. I can't control what you think about me. But I always can control how I react, how I respond, and what I do. And I'm not saying it's easy, because when we begin to talk about our hurts and our insecurities, man, we feel vulnerable. It's like you're naked in front of people. But some of us, we have thoughts of making that forever decision. Nobody sees me and I should just make that choice. What's it matter? How many of you in here this school year, currently this school year, have you already heard a classmate talking about and entertaining the idea that maybe I should just take my life? Raise your hand high. Hold them high, man. I've put almost nearly 100,000 miles on my car in like a year and a half. I feel like I live in these cars. Rental cars, my car if I'm in Indiana. I'm on the road so much, going to and from schools. This is my home. 280 schools last year, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I was a kid with a backpack, and now it's hundreds and hundreds of schools. And these hours of driving, it's where I can really reflect. It's where I can really process some of the experiences that I'm experiencing in these schools. Thinking about conversations that I had with students, hugs that I knew that had more impact, because I could tell that that young lady or that young man was really in a rough place. The situation is rampant all across the world. I want to get to the root of it and to really figure out the why from the mouth and the stories of young people. I'm not naive enough to know that I can save every single person, because I can't really save anybody. I can just do my part. Every day that keeps me driven and going.
I cared so much about what everyone saw. Not how I felt, but what everyone saw. And I remember I tried to take my own life when I was in 8th grade. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I remember looking at myself and thinking, I hate myself. Like, I just had this, why do I have to be this person?
Other people your age are going through the same exact thing, and it's so overlooked that, like, I feel like we just all need to get together and talk about it more.
Oh, that person's doing okay, and oh, you know, she's fine or whatever, but people need to hear the truth that most kids our age are not fine.
There's a situation happening across the culture. You know it, we know it, the school knows it, the world knows it. We're seeing people believing the lies and the thoughts that maybe taking their life is the answer. There's a culture rising across the globe that self-harming is maybe a way to deal with the hurts and the pains. And if we don't deal with the hurts and the pains behind the mask, that pressure will find its way out. And I promise you, it will find one way out somehow, some way. Like it, love it, or leave it.
And my dad just told me, like, you're a man, you don't show emotion, and just basically told me to lock it away. So to lock it away, I went and I started smoking weed and drinking with my friends. And I went out and I'd start fights with kids for no reason, because I was just like, I feel pain, I want someone else to feel the same pain I feel.
How many of you in here, do you know a classmate, somebody in your culture, in your community, here in the school, that normally they pick on kids and make fun of kids, and they're sitting even in here today? Raise your hand. Yeah. At the end of the day, even though you don't like to admit it, you're just trying to prove that you matter. Every single one of you in here that's battling, every one of you that feels like you're alone, every one of you who feels like nobody understands you, how many of you relate to what I'm talking about? Raise your hand. Yeah, man.
I never saw myself represented anywhere. I felt like it was very invisible. Not only being a woman, but a Black Muslim woman, I just thought that those problems weren't for everybody except people like me.
What would you say is the best way to begin to inspire a young person that mental health is a young Black person problem, right? And mental health is a young Muslim problem. Like, mental health is a young Hispanic problem.
You have to really take into consideration what different communities actually need. I feel like a lot of people in our community are just dealing with like intergenerational trauma on top of living in this society. You know, the constant microaggressions, the constant racism, the constant discrimination. Like, gatekeepers and stakeholders and people who have the power in society aren't actually listening to youth. For me, the conversation around mental health was very whitewashed. It never felt real, never felt authentic. it's unrealistic to talk about mental health if people aren't eating food at home, if people don't have opportunities to grow. If people are suffering from PTSD, people need to feel safe.
Growing up where everyone is not only more wealthy than you are, but just really, really wealthy, it affects you in weird ways. Growing up in public housing, which is kind of separated from the rest of the town, there's all this stigma attached to this neighborhood.
Find their name on the ceiling and like...
That was definitely weird because I am so privileged, you know, as a white, like cisgender female, I'm so privileged in so many ways.
Get some water too. Can you run that much? Yeah? Okay. Why don't you and Megan race?
Okay, Ken.
I don't think we want. I don't think Megan. Get set. Go! Go! Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Oh my gosh! Oh! Oh, Cameron's winning, KJ! This is actually really good.
I can sometimes feel a panic attack. Like I woke up this morning and I knew for a fact I was gonna have a panic attack.
Oh, it is good.
I'm still waiting. It's like I wait and I just like, I can feel it. It's gonna come. I don't know when. But you know, it's weird. You just learn your body and you learn your moods and stuff.
It was like an appetizer thing. It was like mozzarella sticks.
And I was telling Will about Mimi and how I used to get it. I think like the first time I felt anxious was probably when I was around 13. I had felt it before, but I wasn't able to name it. The depression felt more of just like nothing. There was no actual anxiety attached to it because I was just numb. You know, not wanting to get out of bed or not wanting to see my friends. I really just like need someone right now, and like I can't trust my friends like that. Like I don't like telling them this stuff. I don't like burdening them with this stuff. I need someone right now, and that was scary. One thing would happen and I would come up with 6 million stories for why something would happen. I would there's somewhere to go other than this bathroom. I don't know what this is. I can't name this thing. How do I explain this to someone? I'm just sick of this.
There should be some kind of a system that talks about mental health problems in schools, like in lessons, just anywhere really.
The appropriate intervention could be put in place to prevent the past 4 years struggle I've had.
I decided about 2 weeks ago just to go back on the medication. For me, it just helps me think clearer.
And I found it made me feel worse than when I'm not on it.
And I felt like a zombie, like I couldn't talk. It's a really scary feeling.
When I developed depression, I didn't know what it was. My parents didn't know what it was. They didn't know how to help me. Recently, I think there's a lot of change going on with younger people speaking out and doing things to help others to realize what mental illness is.
You see tiny little people, like little ants. You can see these massive skyscrapers and you see these giant buildings, and we feel so small. People everywhere, cars everywhere, and buildings everywhere. Everything's just up on you, tunnel vision. Like everything's blurring together, and there's just nowhere for you to escape. There's nowhere for you to have peace and quiet. nowhere for you to settle, to just be. It's the world we've created. We wonder why young people are struggling. In this world of technology, with the digital world, and how technology and screen time and the internet, social media, it's a new world. And adults have to understand that young people's never lived without this. It's different than how it used to be.
I have a couple of friends that have approached me saying that they've had really bad anxiety, and a few of them have said that they've tried to hurt themselves. It was because of stuff on social media. Whenever I hear stuff like that, it always makes me really sad, especially when it's from a friend.
I do have a lot of friends that have developed social anxiety and lost social skills from technology. When they stop using technology and when we're just face to face, it seems like they can actually be themselves.
I would used to go through people's posts and I would see their comments and I would find them hilarious because they would be so mean and be really out there. I would find myself making comments on people's comments. It wasn't making anyone better. I was being as bad as they were.
I suffer from anxiety and depression. When I'm sad, I try and do comedy. I try and be funny. If I make a joke in real life, I could get laughs, but if I do it online, I could get ridiculed or made fun of. And it's happened before.
Me personally, I'm in a lot of LGBT communities, and a lot of them don't really have anyone in their lives that they can really go to just even talk. And this is people ranging from 15 to their early 30s. Some of them, their parents kicked them out.
If someone's repetitively harassing you and calling you names on the internet, then how do you think that would make you feel?
Our generation is in a low place, and there's so many people who think that they don't have a purpose, or what am I doing here?
I'm gay, I'm a lesbian. You read about all these terrifying stories about women and men getting brutalized because they're themselves.
Suffering in silence is awful and scary and just so damaging.
You can find a way to make young people who are struggling with mental health feel hopeful, then they're going to keep fighting.
But when you are in this state of just hopelessness and helplessness, you don't believe that there's going to be a way out.
It's just always that feeling of wanting to numb the pain.
Nobody really ever thinks that you could be struggling yourself, and nobody really reaches out to you.
It's scary, it's terrifying, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. It's a horrible, scary feeling.
Do you like the beach? What do you like about the beach? Huh? Swimming? Do you like being outside? Can you show me how you skip a rock? Show me. Is that how it is? That was 4!
I just was so lucky. Because I really had just the greatest friends.
Rocks are too thick.
Will specifically. He was 15 when we met.
I didn't see it, but I bet it skipped a rock.
And he was, sitting there with me when I'm having a panic attack, and he's helping me in a way that, the therapist can't even help me. And it just shows you the level of empathy that he has, and I was really lucky to have that.
That was good.
That is a cool one.
Like taking care of him is the way I take care of myself.
How do you feel about him getting there?
I go, do you like come to the beach? He goes, I already asked you that.
Say
Like, you met her, right?
Your grandmother?
This is where, when we were little, she would come and we'd walk around the entire thing. She was at every hospital she was in.
Yeah.
That was right before I tried to kill myself.
In May of 2016 was the first time I attempted suicide.
You know, you learn the most about yourself when you're in pain. You'll find out that not only are you a very independent person on your own without her, but you'll still have all of the things that she left behind for you to continuously, carry with who you are. That's one of the best takeaways from any person dying, is that they will only leave behind what you want them to.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember I went to therapy, talked to my therapist, and was honest with her about how I was feeling, and then I realized in my head, if you go any further with this honesty, I knew for a fact I would go to the hospital, and I didn't want to, so I lied to her.
It's not easy to get over something when you have regrets, if you know what I'm saying.
I feel like I can't keep going without her around. Like, she was an adult who understood. It's not something that you find. I had been to 5 hospitals already. I didn't want to go back. So I just said, I'm okay. I'm good to go home.
It's too much right now.
I know.
I don't want Cameron to see. Can you see me?
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Can you look and see if he can see me? Make sure that he doesn't see you look, because I don't know something's wrong. I don't want to go home. I don't want to do this right now.
I know.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it, Will. I want to go home right now.
Just breathe right now. Now's not the... Just... You don't have to.
I'm just like such a person for doing that. I know it's not something to be ashamed of, but I think that's what our society has built.
Always being thought of as a strong friend. I'm really not okay.
I want to succeed so badly, but it's hard to be happy with everything you're doing because you're not happy with yourself.
And people say, just go get help, just go to the urgent care clinics. And you sit and you wait and they check you in and they ask you to rate how you're feeling. And then if you're lucky, you get to see a doctor.
They're having to deal with a lot of very, very ill people rather than it being more about prevention.
Suicide, it used to be a thought, constantly. It was just all that I wanted to do. And I hated myself for not being able to do it. I just get so angry, right? I just felt like I was a bad kid in general. That's why I felt like I should leave. That's just how it's been for as long as I can remember. I just had a lot of hate towards myself and my body.
Do you still wrestle with them?
Yes, I do, but for the first time, honestly, I don't think about killing myself anymore. You have to participate in society. That's what I felt like. What can I do to accomplish something? I didn't know how I was gonna get there, but I had to get there. That's all that was on my mind. When I started performing again, because that's kind of what I love, it gave me a sense of identity too. This is what they mean when they say, give meaning to your pain or give purpose to your pain.
Because I know sometimes we feel like we're alone and we isolate and nobody understands, nobody gets the hurt and the pain sometimes, and you feel like you're the only one.
when people tell you, you know, your music made me like cry, I don't know, gave me life. When I just get into the song, then it almost feels like I'm crying.
My name is Angel Richards, and I'll be singing a piece I wrote called What Lovers Do.
I'm up there and I feel the pressure, right? It's the biggest release ever.
It's true, I did enjoy the time we spent, but everything good has to end. I'll still save a dance for you. I guess it's the
when I harm, it didn't really lead to anything. But when I'm expressing myself through song, that leads to something actually good. I'm telling my story.
It reminds me of how we used to be.
And then it gets the thoughts out too, when your thoughts are all bungled up. It's literally making something painful inside beautiful.
It's hard to get up through the day and face systemic racism and face bullying, see violence in their lives and all of these things. It's hard to get up the next day. And there are so many things inherent to a space like this when you build it up properly that help people become more resilient and help people find community. When you make sure a space is safe, where you make sure that everybody feels welcome into a space, people feel like they can be themselves. These are things that protect young people and make them better equipped to deal with the things that are trying to pull them down every day. Things like systemic racism, things like poverty, things like abuse and violence, these things make young people less resilient when they don't also have other factors that are protecting them. When you don't have a way to express yourself, when you don't have a person that you can trust, that you can talk to, you become less resilient. And the more that you have around you, the better able you are.
It's almost like we need to begin to figure out how to empower the youth to know that their voice matters.
Let me paint a picture. Imagine being an 8-year-old black kid. All you hear is gunshots every single night, to the point where you don't feel safe going home. You don't feel safe walking through a park. You don't feel safe going to school at 8 o'clock in the morning. Seeing your father walk out on your mother, or even get gunned down, dead. That causes kids to no longer be a child. You have to be the dad, you have to be the mother, you have to be the older sibling. They can't even focus on learning because every time they wake up to go to school, they're tired because of the responsibilities they have to take care of the night before.
As a peer supporter, doing this kind of work, it allows me to actually use my own personal experiences to connect with people, talk about what's actually going on. It's sometimes at home, sometimes it's I don't have food to eat, I don't think there's a point of continuing. A lot of times it's rage. A lot of times it's anger. Kids are going to school hungry. Kids don't feel like there's a point of succeeding. There needs to be an approach that is two-sided. People want to only help when you're going through a crisis. What about prevention? What about people in the middle, people who don't realize they're going through something? Stop importing people from different neighborhoods into the communities, into the schools to serve kids that they don't know. I'm not going to be able to go to rural communities because I grew up in a city. Maybe training the youth in the community to be leaders.
All these programs that I've been to growing up, I was only there for the food, let's be honest. They never offered me nothing else other than a place for me to chill. However, there was one program in particular where the coordinator handed me a book. It was a brown book, and he said, Jafar, write. From the moment he gave me that book and said, Jafar, write, he opened up that fire. He started that fire and it carried. To this day, I'm still writing, I'm still doing spoken word poetry. That is my outlet. Ain't nobody can take that away from me.
Young people helping young people that have this fire to try to solve the situation. It's learning to really get the pulse and the heartbeat from young people that are in the middle of it. Letting their voice be a voice at the table. We just can't keep thinking that the same system that's broken is ever going to fix itself. Because we do know there's a lot of darkness, a lot of brokenness, a lot of isolation. A generation of isolation.
I never thought I would make it to high school, but through my pain and my anxiety and being bullied, I found my purpose.
It was a balancing act between keeping my anxiety in check and also recognizing that I do have anxiety and that that's okay.
These days can teach you a lot about yourself and can be seen in a positive way.
To try and see past like the things that we went through and not let that serve as our only identity.
It's okay to tell people that we are struggling and that we're going to overcome it and we're going to figure it out together, because working as one and helping each other as one, we're not going to accomplish much.
It took me 5 years to finally open up about my mental illness, but it wasn't as scary as I thought. It was one of the best things I've ever done.
Marion, Indiana is where I was born and raised. And I kind of feel a little bit nervous because I know I'm getting closer to my mom's house. There's a lot of raw emotions still, and there's a lot of layers underneath me that even Marion signifies, because I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today without what's happened in my past, and I can't change it. So right now I'm on my way to see my mom and spend some time with her. I need to sit down and talk to her for me to be the best me. When I first began wanting to make a difference and starting to speak in schools, the kids who are battling with the mental health, the suicide, the self-harm, the anxiety, the depression, it's grown into something that I never knew I was going to be able to be effective or that it would affect me. I want a tomato.
Oh, she's got the
I got the tomatoes.
What's up, man?
Not much.
He was getting ready to take off. He just wanted to help.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Children obviously hear what you're saying, and they feel that you're somebody that listens.
Oh, here's a good one down here.
Actually, Nathan.
And so they're willing to open up.
Wow.
Oh, here's a really good one. When I was suicidal, and then I battled with self-harm, and I battled the anxiety and the depression, there was still so much in my heart that I had masked.
And why didn't I see it younger in you?
I did try to kill myself, and I was self-harming, and I did battle depression, and I had all these things, and I know you did the best that you could.
Well,
I didn't even remember that I wrote this to you.
I thought you was just being a rebellious teenager.
Yeah.
Mom, please don't be mad at me. I'm struggling right now. But I don't know what it is. But all I know is that I am struggling for some reason. It seems like all I ever do anymore is getting into trouble. Mom, I want you and me to be like two peas in a pod. I don't want to get into trouble with you and fight anymore. I just want my mom.
You were born to do amazing things. Own it. Don't be afraid of it. Thanks, brother.
Prairie. Don't you give up.
Teachers just ignore problems. I feel like if teachers were to speak out more about mental health and how people are actually feeling inside, and if they could relate to some of that, we'd feel a lot more comfortable with ourselves.
What's up?
Just last year, I tried to take my own life in this school.
Weird. We get to hang out later too. Yeah, Charles? Yep.
It's nice to know that somebody else out there speaks truth. I am beautiful. I am worth being here. And, like, I am important.
Appreciate that. That was... Yeah, man. You were up there with me, weren't you?
I'm back to starting work today and giving me something to do. And I've been feeling better.
And there are better days to come. No matter what your situation is and no matter what you're fighting, you are loved.
I had a tough time earlier today, but I went to a comedy show tonight, and it was really, like, just crazy. And it was just really fun, lightened my mood a lot. I think it's important to take time sometimes to just give yourself a night.
They say that young people of this generation are the change, and I think we can get there with mental health as well. Yeah, just a thought.
I want you here on a count of 3. The largest roar you can do.
Yeah.
All right, ready, man? 1, 2, 3. Again, take a deep breath.
Peer-to-peer support, it's been so helpful to me, like more than I could like express. When I was able to like, you know, fix myself up and be the person that I wanted to be. It's different when you get like a friend to try to help you out with something. You know, when your parents try to help you, especially when you're at this age, you don't want their help. You just want to be alone. But when a friend helps you out, it's different.
I relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about these walks, man. You being a peer supporter, a journeyman, right? That's what you're called?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about this.
Okay, well, we go on these walks pretty often. We usually just talk about like any normal activities going on in our lives. It's all right to share that information here. If you just want to go out and have a little fun in the nature, you can do that too.
So it's just a bunch of guys just getting together and just spending time together in nature and walking.
Yeah, I mean, it's only part of it, but yeah. Seeing the new people come in, I see like my eyes in those people. And to see them struggle and go through problems that I had, it makes me feel for them. I've been seeing addiction, abuse, loneliness, depression. There's no consistency in problems. Everybody has their own recipe. There's always a different approach to every problem. It doesn't matter what it is to me, but I want to help them feel better as a person.
Yeah.
It looks a little weird when you're in a circle drumming with a lot of people, but when you're out in the wilderness with all your friends banging on drums, it's a great way to like release a lot of emotional distress. We all release a different rhythm, and it's like somehow in the end all just kind of interacts and turns into harmony.
I get to release a lot of anger because I get very emotional when I'm outside in the real world, and so when I drum, I release a lot of anger, and I feel connected with my inner self.
We're gonna just go with the sound of anger.
For me, it's like healing my emotional wounds. So like positive vibes.
Okay. Hoping for more positive feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it all in.
Okay.
When you're out in the world, you're not allowed to cry. You're supposed to deal with everything people throw at you. You being able to just let everything out. When you do that, it's something just beyond words.
I really feel insecure about myself. I feel insecure because, you know, a girl didn't like what I said, so now I need to go home and rethink how I'm just gonna approach people in general. I feel insecure because that one time I thought I was gay. And if I turned out to be gay, then I feel like everybody would hate me.
I've been mistreated. I've been dragged through the dirt. I've been mentally abused. I've been physically abused a lot. I have a lot of scars on my body. I have a lot of scars. I look like a jigsaw puzzle if you were to roll up my sleeves. I also have a lot of mental scars. It strikes on my soul. And I just want to be accepted for who I am. And I just wanted to be loved.
Yeah, dude. I love you.
Everything that all of you young men are sharing, if we can empower people to take the mask off, man. I mean, if I had a mask myself, it would be, you know, always on the move, on the go. You know, it's like you gotta always hold it together. Sometimes I'm just tired. Well, everything that I'm hearing from you guys, it's powerful.
You cannot start to work on yourself until you are at a certain level in your healing.
I seem so okay and I seem so fine that no one actually knows what's going on here.
Because there's times where I scream into my pillow. There's times where I cry at the top of my lungs.
And it's important that we have these conversations, that we talk about mental health and we take action and we do what we can so that people can get the help that they need.
I'm 11 years free from suicidal thoughts. 11 years free from depression and anxiety that paralyzed me. 11 years free from all of those destructive behaviors that I developed when I was wearing the mask. I love what I do. Life is good. Is it always easy? No. Our storms are all unique. And when you show scars, life's good. Because we all got them. Hey, honey. Oh, yeah. Miss you and the kids. It's been a long trip so far. Nope, a few more days and I'll have a break and I'll be home, so. I hear him back there. Make sure you give him a hug for me. I love you too, baby. Bye. When I started this, it was right when me and Alexis had gotten married. We're going on 5 years of marriage. I know what it was like having Dad home and not home and home and not home. I don't have it all figured out there yet. We're learning.
Suppose what they could do is be better prepared and have equal funding for mental health and physical health.
It just requires us to continue trying our best, continue trying to understand one another.
Mental health targets no certain age group or no certain ethnicity.
And we are really the future, so if we begin to, push out the barriers of talking and reaching out about our mental health, then in the future, they won't exist. In times of reflection, where I was like, I need to get a grip. What do I have to do to make myself healthier today? Like, what do I have to do to feel better for tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think is kind of like the shift that's happened for me, and I know happened for you.
There are so many young people that are struggling, so many high school, middle school, and elementary kids who are just right where you were, right in that place where I don't want to be here, I don't want to deal with this.
I think I'm feeling in a place I never thought I would be in. Obviously, things are up and down. It's just been so crazy to think about where I was even a year ago, and to think about what I'm able to do now that I wasn't able to do then. Getting up in the morning and going for a run. Cooking healthy meals, surrounding myself with people that support me and make me happy. And do you want me to sit?
Yeah, it's just
like all these things that I just kind of like ignored for so long.
Oh man, it is beautiful today.
I know. I love like the fall crispy weather with all the leaves and like it's just the greatest running weather, I think. I think it attributes to just like this shift in my brain where I kind of got rid of that voice in my head that was constantly telling me that everything I was doing was wrong and not worth it, and why even try, and sort of that part of your brain that's not your rational brain, but kind of that higher brain that seems to dictate all of those kind of negative habits and those negative things. And I think I decided after like I was in the hospital the last time that I was just so sick of being unhappy because I'm so young, and I feel like I need to be able to experience the world in a positive, healthy way.
For me, I think one of the challenges has been eating healthy. I travel so much.
Yeah.
And the diet.
Absolutely it is. It genuinely stems just from the like physical feeling, like just feeling so much physically better, just more awake and more energy and just healthier, helps the mind so much, just having a clear palette of body. And so I think taking care of that and like thinking of your body almost as like a tool is so powerful. Look at, like, I live in this house. Like, I have the friends that I have Will. How could I want to leave that? I started changing everything and wanting to change. That last visit, I was sitting outside.
At the hospital?
Yeah. In their little, like, smoking area they had outside, and I just, like, wanted to be outside and, like, be alone. So I got someone to sit out there with me, and we were just, like, sitting, and it was kind of like it was almost like a cage. And there were bushes around the fence. You couldn't really see anything, but you could hear everything. So you could hear everyone laughing, you could hear cars driving, you could feel the sunlight on you, but you couldn't really, like, see the sky very much. And so it was very almost like a jail in that way. And I remember sitting out there being like, this is the kind of place I'm gonna have to keep spending my time if I don't try to figure out some way to get a grip on myself and get a grip on my life. And like, I'm done going to those places because I wanna live. And I can't live from in here. Like, I can hear everyone laughing, I can hear cars. I missed senior prom to go to the hospital, and I've missed birthday parties and you know, it's just, it's not living. It's just like a cycle.
When I was younger, 17, 18 years old, not wanting to do this anymore, you know, having the plan. But I remember I walked out to the garage. That was it. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I just relate to you and seeing you in this good space right now. It's really inspiring. I'm totally out of my element.
Okay,
and,
sweet.
So what's next?
Next is olive oil and a spoon.
So this is a real treat for me, so thank you so much for
Of course.
sharing your space with me to, like, pick your brain,
Yep.
live life with you.
Yep. It just kind of seems like I'm always reading stories of people that are taking their own lives, or it's like this issue is so deep-rooted in so many different areas of society, and something has to happen. I mean, all of my friends acknowledge it. It's just, it's scary that nothing really is happening.
It's overwhelming.
Every single different doctor I was seeing was prescribing me with something different and diagnosing me with something different was shocking to me, because I'm saying, how am I not kind of coming across to each person in the same way? And I think it kind of speaks to the idea that seeing a doctor for like 30 minutes out of your entire life is not enough time to prescribe them medication that's going to alter their mind.
Is it ready?
It is ready.
Okay.
Of course.
This has really been the part of the journey, is that I really didn't know what I was getting into 5 years ago when I began this. And sometimes I feel alone in it. I've been meeting a lot of other young people that are beginning to really recognize, like, we have an issue. So you're just, to me, another person on a personal level that helps me just feel like I belong to. Darkness. Darkness of the unknown, darkness of what's next. The darkness brings such uncertainty. The uncertainty of the future, hopelessness. Just as much as I sit here in the darkness, I know that the sun's gonna come over this horizon. Young people, they need support. They need to know that they're loved, that they're important, and they're not alone. We have to become that light as a society. Young people have to know that even though at times they may feel that they're in the darkness, if they could just know just to hold on, that light is going to come over the horizon.
We need to start building each other up and showing each other that we care and that we are there for each other.
And the minute we start talking about mental illness, then people will not be ashamed.
And it's nothing to be scared of, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
I just really hope somehow the world could change.
If what I do impacts one person and one person's mental health, then I consider that a success, and that's really encouraging to me.
I'm still a work in progress, but I'm getting there. Thanks.
I confidently say that I'm over my mental health issues because I'm happy.
If we have a positive attitude towards mental health, then it means we'll have less discrimination and less stigmatization.
There are better days to come. No matter what your situation is and no matter what you're fighting, you are loved. Bullying don't last forever.
Everyone is different, but we're all the same because we're all fighting our own battles.
I'm strong, I'm a warrior, I can get through anything.
You have yourself, you are never alone.
The most important thing is that you support yourself. You have to always think of yourself first.
It is really important that we know how to support ourselves and we know how to support others. I think anything that you can do to continue to raise awareness and educate people is a really great thing.
The minute we start talking about mental illness as something that is just as normal as a physical condition, then people will not be ashamed to talk about what they're going through.
He is my happiest boy and my favorite dog.
Yeah.
See ya. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Bye. Mwah.
After watching that, you may be looking for ways to talk to your kids about what they're going through. On our website, you'll find guides to help parents, caregivers, and educators watch Connecting the Dots and discuss it with kids. If you or someone you know is in crisis, call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Thank you for watching.